Electrical.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Thursday, November the 20th, 2025, and it's Smoking Gun Thursday here on the show, Bock.
Yes.
Stocking stuffings will be available at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. Go by and get you some. Put them in some good presents for, some people celebrate Thanksgiving as some presents. Some people celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah. Any day you want to celebrate, stop by Smoking Gun Jerky and get you some stocking stuffers with some beef jerky.
That's not a bad idea. I can't wait to try some new flavors here today. Always looking forward to seeing how much the spicy one bothers either you and I. So we'll see. It's usually a spicy one. I guess I didn't look into the box today, but.
All right, Bock, Penn State and Nebraska. Penn State's welcome Nebraska on Saturday for a Big Ten matchup and Senior Day. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Eastern time, Bock, which is 6 o'clock our time. This is the 18th meeting, the 19th meeting in the program's history. The Nittany Lions trail 10-8 all-time in the series, Bock.
Like to hear that?
The Nittany Lions are 6-3 in home matchups as the team met in West Shore home field at Beaver Stadium for the first time since 2017. The last meeting, Bock, was 2020 with Penn State falling 30-23 in Lincoln. The Nittany Lions rushed for 245 yards and 2 touchdowns while throwing for 256 in that 2020 matchup. This will be the first time Penn State will feature 2 Penn State alums, Bock, as head coaches. Intern coach Terry Smith graduated from Penn State in 1991, while Nebraska head coach Matt Rule graduated in 1997. Matt Rule took, Terry Smith with him to coach at, Temple?
Mm-hmm.
Did he go to Baylor with him?
I don't believe so. I can double check. We can play some Terry Smith from his press conference here later. But yeah, it's an interesting story. As you mentioned, Matt Rule, you mentioned earlier in the week, Matt Rule really got him to the college level.
Yeah. All right, Bock. Nebraska 7-3 this season, 4-3 in the Big Ten after a 28-21 win over UCLA on November 8th. TJ Lateef threw for 205 yards, 3 touchdowns. Emmett rushed for 129. This is going to be a great matchup when we talk about 2 historic programs, Bock, when you talk about this Penn State versus Nebraska.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is one of those helmet games, right? I mean, there's only a handful of programs across the nation that, man, it just and I know it frustrated even Jake Sorensen. I remember going back to the USC game, and maybe a tough spot when you bring up Jake Sorensen's name, but like that they didn't like go through with that, like the Nebraska iconic helmet against the USC iconic helmet. Of course, they had the same helmets, but the blackout is what I'm pointing out to. Nebraska-Penn State, it's going to be fun, regardless of records, and this might not be the best year for Penn State, right? As we know, but it just feels like you're the epitome of college football, and that's why I think it's why this is a 3-letter network, right? NBC game, was picked for this is because the brand names that are involved here. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. Again, you can kind of throw out the records and in that, I think in what we've seen in the at least according to Vegas and the odds makers here, I would say some even teams or even matchups. A lot of their stats are kind of strengths and weaknesses align. So it'll be interesting, definitely, as we break down Penn State today.
All right, Bock. Stoic programs meets. These are one of the. You can say one's a blue blood and one's a addition to the blue bloods when we talk about the blue bloods of college football. Penn State and Nebraska, Bock, both rank among the top 10 programs in winning percentage and total victories in NCAA history. 4 of the top 10 winningest programs by wins and winning percentage in the NCAA history are from the Big Ten, Bock, which we formerly came from the Big 8, Big 12, to the Big Ten. Penn State sits number 7 in all-time victories with 947, and Nebraska's and number 9 in winning percentage. Nebraska sits 8th with 931 all-time victories and number 10 with all-time winners percentages. The Nittany Lions and the Cornhuskers are also among the most ranked teams in the NCAA history, according to the AP poll. Nebraska has spent 70 weeks ranked number 1 in the AP poll, 7th all time, and Penn State has earned the number 1 rankings by the AP on 21 occasions, tied 17th all time, not including preseason when they was number 1.
Yeah.
But this is different when we talk about this Penn State team. Lost James Franklin, who's now at Virginia Tech. Now you have Terry Smith. He's fighting to try to earn this job. You would think that Penn State would be in talks with somebody right now, or they would try to hire another coach away so soon, but it hasn't happened yet. So we have to think about that part, is who is going to coach this team next year. But we're not waiting for next year, Bock. We play them in less than 2 days, so we're going to worry about that when we take the field against Katron Allen, and what's the other? It's Singleton. Nicholas Singleton. When we talk about these guys have to stop this hard rushing attack, and this is probably going to be one of the best offensive lines we face this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a reason why they were preseason up there, right? I mean, things haven't gone according to plan. They did lose Drew Aller, who, by the way, spoke publicly for the first time here within the last hour to Penn State media via Zoom. Nothing really considering this game or about the Penn State situation, just more about the his pro prospects. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a Penn State team that has there's going to be a lot of motion here on Saturday. We've talked about it before, the whole Matt Rule thing. There's going to be people in the building that would love to see Matt Rule in Penn State colors next year. There's going to be a lot of people that don't. So I'm interested to see the Penn State crowd and their reaction to Matt Rule kind of throughout this game and see how it looks. They've got the whiteout we've said throughout the week. The shocking thing to me, Nebraska-Penn State, and this is true across the board as far as teams that have fired coaches. If you look this weekend, the cheapest ticket in college football. You go ahead and name any other team across the country outside Nebraska and Penn State, going from, Rise to UTSA, any of these teams, they're all more expensive to get in the game. The game is $5 to get into. The problem, of course, is to get to State College, the tough kind of place to get to there in Pennsylvania. So we'll see how many people show up, how many people take advantage of the cheap tickets. It's the last time Penn State fans will get to see their Nittany Lions this year. Yeah, it's a year from hell from them, but you still kind of want to see them go off and at least earn a bowl game and do the bare minimum to kind of say that you've had at least a season that you can have a winning season. They're going to have to win out. They're going to have to beat Nebraska. They're going to have to beat Rutgers on the road, and they're going to have to beat whoever it is in their bowl game. So There still feels like there's enough on the line. And I think it's particularly interesting, those running backs that you mentioned, Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton, along with Drew Aller, decided to come back for their senior season and give it a go at the national championship. Now, part of that, it certainly is that motive. But maybe while we're down there, we ask, what's the numbers that took to keep Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton in town? Because they're senior running backs, right? They could have went to the NFL. You don't see. We mentioned it with the Doak Walker Award finalists. I think there was their semifinalists. There's 1 out of 10 amongst the group that are seniors. If you're hot, usually as a running back, you want to go, because how many running backs even get to make it till the age of 30? In the NFL, it's tough to do. So but this whole time we've been talking about Emmett Johnson. It's been kind of tabled and inappropriately because the game's this week. But if you're kind of looking for example 1A and 1B of bringing back running backs that could have been drafted highly, it's Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton. And of course, Nebraska, not going to be the same conversation as Penn State. Like we said, preseason, up there in the top 5, Nebraska not likely headed into. So you might have to find a little bit different motive, but I do understand. I do want to understand all the things that it took to get those guys back in town. By the way, Katron Allen, 12 touchdowns this year, 917 yards, kind of splitting carries again there in the backfield with Nicholas Singleton. Those are some pretty solid numbers. Will likely or attempt to go over 1,000 yards this year. Nicholas Singleton, not as much, right? He only averaged 3.9 yards per carry. Not exactly probably the year that he wanted to have coming back this year after running for 1,100 yards last year and 12 touchdowns. But, he could still be a big threat out of that backfield. Had more than or close to 100 yards against Indiana, was kind of a primary factor there. So we'll see. I mean, but between the two of them, much like Nebraska, there's not a whole lot of riddle about what's going to take it to win this game. Both teams are going to rely on their running backs who are going to be playing some NFL football either next year or 2 years, maybe, the case for Emmett Johnson, and hope that their rush defense, which for both teams has been a little bit shoddy this year, can keep up.
Yeah, you're correct about that, Bock. And later on in the show, we're going to go against some matchups that are going to be some must-see matchups. We're going to talk about Emmett Johnson versus Penn State defensive line. We're going to talk about Elijah Pritchett and Turner Corcoran versus Dennis Sutton. The wonder type defensive end that they have. We're going to talk about Penn State running backs versus Nebraska linebackers. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. We're also going to go over the depth chart, Bob. We're going to see how big these guys are up front and what are some ways we can take advantage of this game this weekend and try to go out of Penn State with a victory. I think the biggest crowd for a Nebraska-Penn State game, Bob, was 110,000. Woo! 110,000. I think that was like 2002, 2001. I think they played, and that was 110,000 people. And they only fit 106. So I don't know where they got the other 4,000 from. But when you talk about playing against a atmosphere like that, Bob, how do our guys react to an atmosphere that big? Because you come here to Lincoln, it's only 85,000 people, 87, 88, whatever they say. But they're adding another 30,000 people to the screaming and yelling whiteout that they're going to have Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I got to admit, I do remember that 2002 game. It was a bit shocking for Nebraska that year. They went in as the number 8 team against Penn State, 3-0 on the year, and ended up losing 70-40 to Larry Johnson and those guys. And for Penn State, it was a bit of a revival. They didn't have a good year the previous year, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm going back through to try to remember that, but at least in the very least, they weren't ranked. In 2001, they were 5-6. So a little bit of a revival there. Definitely the shock of what the 2002 season was for the Huskers kind of began there in Happy Valley. So, it's been a nightmare there before. You hope you don't get back to that. But the other thing is, I'm just, again, quite frankly, very honestly interested in how many people show up. I mean, I do think you're going to get a big crowd one way or the other. Is it going to be packed to the brim with 100,000 folks? I don't know. You might, even if 20,000 don't show up, it's still 80,000. It's going to be a lot of people there, so it's going to be a big time atmosphere. But I can't overlook the fact that it's the cheapest ticket in college football right now. But again, similar to Nebraska, You kind of go back to the Mickey Joseph year. Similar situation, right? Interim coach, maybe not winning as much as they wanted to, or at least to compete to keep that coach in town. But you get to that senior day, you get to the end, and it's still a Nebraska football game, right? It's still a Penn State football game. It still matters to them, even though the season might be a loss. Can they save some face here? And again, then again too, some seniors that gave up a potential year of NFL to come back. Here it is, senior day. So the atmosphere is just it's hard to predict exactly what it's going to look like, but it's going to have a lot to it one way or the other. Again, with the senior day, the Matt Rule stuff, it's just going to be fascinating.
All right, it's Smoking Guns Jerky of Nebraska Day here at 93.7 The Ticket. Don't forget to buy some stocking stuffers, because guess what Bock's getting for me? Some beef jerky.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm going to get it the hottest one they got.
Oh.
No, I'm going to put it in his stocking stuffing here at The Ticket, 93.7 FM.com. Bock the Blackshirt. We'll be right back.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, patchy fog this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and light winds. The high near 53. Tonight, a chance of showers with patchy fog. A low around 32. Tomorrow, a continued chance of showers throughout the day with patchy fog possible. See a high near 49. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Don't be fooled by the typical holiday ads this year. A new car for your significant other is a dream, but not a likely reality. Why not upgrade the current car you have with a detail? This year's hot item is a gift certificate from Nebraska Auto Detail to make your car look and smell fully refreshed again. We all have clutter and we all make messes, but it doesn't have to stay like that. Give the gift of a clean car this holiday. Buy your certificate at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call 402-601-5086 for an appointment today.
The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovbneb.com/schedule.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio. You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are on from Monday to Friday from 1 to 3. Bock, Big Bird says there's a ton of ticket sales. There's a ton of tickets for sale. $25 for the lower level row. 32 sideline. I don't know, man. I hate when fans give up on teams, and that's probably the case with a Penn State team. I just remember, Bock, when we used to take them bus rides. When we took that bus ride from the hotel to Tempe Stadium in 1995 or 1996, January 2nd. Bock, I still remember that day. We didn't have phones back then, thank God, but we had headphones. You know, that was the only thing we could focus on was music and trying to get ready for a game. I think when you have a game of this magnitude, for Nebraska it is, I think it is for Penn State too, when you talk about they have to win out to make it to a bowl game. And Nebraska's fighting for a better bowl game, because I hate to see this team do all this hard work just to go to the Pinstripe Bowl or some other flunky bowl that, you know, doesn't have sunlight.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot left out there for Nebraska, and really, and again, to a degree, they've done kind of the bare minimum. I don't phrase that in a way to say that they haven't done well. You know, 7-3 obviously is a good record, but if you finish the season at 7, you know, that's what you finished with last year. So, you know, you're going to get these opportunities. You've got 3 more of them, right, with the bowl game included, to at least improve on that season from last year. And then every step that you take, obviously, in winning those games, elevates what the season is and what the future holds for Nebraska. What you can do, what you can tell recruits out there on the recruiting trail that they're this close, right? And so it's a huge opportunity for Nebraska to finish the season strong. And while they have some good opponents here in Penn State and Iowa, with some solid, definitely, I mean, especially with Penn State, some solid individual players. You know, Iowa probably maybe a better group altogether, definitely had a better season and a better defense as a whole. But you know, these are not gimme games, but they're not top 25 opponents. And Nebraska's really struggled, obviously, as we know, against top 25 opponents. Now, neither was Minnesota. Minnesota beat Nebraska handily without being there. But again, I think the opportunity is there. And if you win these next 2 games, then you will get the chance probably to face a top 25 opponent in the bowl game and try to knock that off the list before next season. Of course, there's a lot of things that Matt Rule inherited that Nebraska was not doing well, or these streaks and all that. And of course, that top 25 thing is still kind of lingering out there for both Matt Rule and the program, not winning one since 2016. Again, won't have the opportunity this weekend, but if you drop 2 of these games, not going to have the opportunity at all. If you drop, one of these games, likely, or maybe not. I mean, let's see what the bowl matchup would be, but probably not against the top 25 team. But if you win them, then you got that opportunity. So I know it's not all about that. Again, it's just about finishing strong, but it's just to point out I think that the way that we view this season and how successful it is certainly is going to be dependent a lot on how Nebraska finishes in these 2 final games.
Yeah, Bob, it's crazy the way we think about these things in college football, especially with what happened yesterday with the Dayton Riola situation. And Nebraska needs some good news, and I think the good news this weekend is we should beat a Penn State team. I don't know if that's the truth, but I'm just saying what we need. When I look at this Penn State game, I'm more concerned with the defensive line than I'm more concerned with anything else. When you play a Russian team like this who ran the ball 50 times last week, Bob. Yeah. And when you talk about it, that's hit after hit after hit after hit. I don't know if our little guys up front can really take that type of punishment. It needs to be a lot of rotation. I'm talking about every 2 downs, Bob, you're probably gonna have to rotate because I don't think we've been used to seeing a line this big. Now, Bob, we're gonna go over the depth chart for Penn State. I want you to read about as you do every week, and I want you to start off with Penn State offense.
All right, yeah, we can start off there. We'll start out at quarterback, where the redshirt freshman Ethan Grunkmeyer is starting, of course, with Drew Aller out for the season for the Nittany Lions. If you kind of look at it with Grunkmeyer here, he is again redshirt freshman, 6'2", 207. Generally not as not going to be too mobile. We'll see. So far this year, hasn't been able to show off too much of that. 26 carries, minus 26 yards. Of course, sacks being put into that as well. But his long is of 10. He's been sacked 9 times on the season, so that's part of those 26 carries. So I mean, they in limited action, they might call play or 2 for him to run. So look out for that. But he's not a burner, is the point. So far for Grunkmeyer in the season, 72 of 111, 689 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Again, has been sacked 6 times on the year. Running back Katron Allen, nicknamed Fat Man. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what his nickname is. Katron Allen, 5'11", 219. As you can imagine, a little bit of a power back, but he can break them out too at a 67-yarder, I think, last week. So look out for him. 5'11", 219. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 917 yards. So he's going to be looking to pass the 1,000-yard mark here today. 12 touchdowns on the season. Nicholas Singleton, the other running back, 6'2", 224, senior, 9 touchdowns on the year. He can add some speed to him as well. Hasn't had the season he's wanted. 107 carries, 419 yards, just 3.9 yards per carry. But we'll be looking out for a breakout against Nebraska. Tight end Khalil Dinkins, 6'4", 250-pound senior. He's 14 catches, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the year. And then at wide receiver, Kyron Hudson, 6'1", 213 pounds. He is a senior as well. He's got 245 yards on the year and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Ross, 5'10", 170-pound senior. He's one of the transfers they got. Remember, Penn State struggled last year with wide receivers. They went and got this guy 1,000 yards plus at Troy last year. And again, to this point in the year, has 360 yards and 5 touchdowns. He leads Penn State with 5 receiving touchdowns. Their other receiver, Trevor Pena, another guy they went out and got, paid some good money for out there at Syracuse. 5'10", 187-pound senior, 369 yards receiving, leads the team so far this year, just 1 touchdown. And I say he got paid pretty well because Syracuse's coach was outright saying he wasn't going to pay, I think it was $1 or $2 million for a wide receiver. So Pena said, okay, well, I'll take my talents here to Penn State then. So those are kind of the skill position players, like
Hold
you
on,
mentioned.
Bob.
Go ahead.
When you look at these receivers, they're not the typical receivers we've been seeing this year. These are little speedy guys that's gonna zigzag across the field. So it's gonna. I don't know how we're gonna play it. I know we have a great secondary, but these are little speed guys right here.
Yeah, and again, passing the ball, especially with Grunkmeyer in, as you know, especially against Nebraska's defense specifically, that doesn't give up a whole lot of yards. I mean, they can do it, but it's likely not going to be their point of attack. But a couple of these guys, again, I mentioned 1,000-yard receivers are close to it at previous stops. They could pop off today on Saturday if you let them. Up front on the offensive line, Nick Dawkins is at center, number 53, 6'4", 299-pound senior. We'll go to the right of him, TJ Shannon, 6'4", 316-pound sophomore. Shanahan, 6'4", 316-pound sophomore at guard. At tackle is Nolan Rucci, 6'8", 304 pounds, senior there, protecting the right side for the quarterback of Penn State. Ola Ione, 6'4", 328-pound junior, probably the best or one of the best offensive linemen for Penn State, will be playing at left guard. And then their left tackle, Drew Shelton, 6'5", 306-pound senior out there at left tackle for Penn State. So big offensive line, and again, they run the ball pretty well. So they're at least some, have shown the ability to be road graders here this year. Again, if you look at the rushing offense for Penn State, 159.9 yards per game, 64th ranked in the nation. Not overwhelming, right? It hasn't been a great offensive year altogether. But as you mentioned, coming off a game where they ran the ball 50 times against Michigan State. Katron Allen, by the way, the main weapon in that game, 25 carries, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, 240 total for Penn State against that Michigan State rush defense.
Yeah, Bob, and especially when you look at their scoring offense, they're scoring 30.4 yards, 30.4 points a game. And that's good for number 52 in the league, right behind Nebraska, who's at 32.5. But, I think one of the things that is hurting Penn State is the play of the tight end, not really the play that they had from last year tight end, because that guy had over 1,000 yards, and that guy went in probably the top 10 order of the draft. So when you look at the special team, not the special teams unit, but the specialty guys, that when you talk about the little quick wide receivers, the big tight end, the great running back. So, and if running's their bread and butter, I don't see a need to pass if they can run. So they're going to start off really heavy trying to run. I think Nebraska needs to play probably a loaded front to really stop this Penn State rushing attack.
Yeah, and as we know, too, with Nebraska's rush defense, the numbers aren't great there. A lot of it's been the big play, right? So Penn State is definitely going to keep hammering at you, even if it's not necessarily gaining chunk yardage every time. They're gonna hope that they can open it up against Nebraska. And again, that's been kind of the approach from a lot of these teams, because it's on tape. That's kind of what Nebraska has been susceptible here to. So it's going to be interesting. Probably a short, limited possession game, as both teams will come in with probably that similar strategy. I would guess TJ Lateef will end up with a few more passing attempts than Grunkmeyer, but it shouldn't be a whole lot more. Obviously, if either team gets a big advantage, then they'll have to pass it. The other team will have to pass to get in the game. But if this game stays close, I don't know if you'll see more than 15, 18 passes from either team.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, Bob. We're going to talk a little bit more about this Penn State versus Nebraska. I just seen on college football on Fox, Kirk Signetti, welcome with booze walking into Iowa. Don't they play Iowa this weekend?
I don't think so. Indiana's, I think their schedule is a little bit easier moving forward. Yeah, so they've actually got the weekend off.
Oh, I don't know what this is I'm looking at.
Well, I did walk into Iowa at September 27th, probably got some booze.
Oh, yeah. I think this is old. They need to upgrade this.
Yeah.
93.7 the ticket. Bock the Blackshirt. We'll be right back.
It's No Shave November at Limitless Male. Let the beard grow and lose weight. If extra weight is holding you back from activities, the men's health experts at Limitless Male can help. It's no fun being left out because your weight is holding you back. GLP-1s from Limitless Male will help you drop the weight fast, and you won't be hungry. When you feel good and look good, you'll wonder why you waited so long for a free consult at Limitless Male.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Fight fans, Dynasty Combat Sports returns to the Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, November 21st for a massive night of cage fighting action. UFC veteran Derek Minner headlines as he faces Missouri's Jacob Ritchie. In the co-main event, Lincoln's Nate Morrow battles Ashton Caniglia, with Sean Lindgren and Jeremy Small throwing down in the featured pro bout. Local prospects Easton Edmund Buden and Andrew Huffman lead the amateur side. 16 total fights are set for another electric night in the cage. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com or the arena box office. Fight card subject to change.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, bring my camera a little closer.
All right.
If you can get really up on me.
All right.
This right here. This is called Complete Idiot Beef Jerky.
Uh-oh.
This is the hottest they make. This is not on our taste tester today, but the owner brought a pack in. I said I was going to trick Bock today and do a switcheroo on him. You know, Bock doesn't like hot stuff. He blows a gasket when he eats something spicy.
I'm susceptible to it, yes.
But I just ate a piece. It was okay. I've had hotter.
Okay.
I have hotter.
Even from
Yes,
Smoking Gun?
No.
Or is this the hottest?
This
from
is smoking
Gun?
one. I had chips that's hotter.
Okay.
Now, as I sit here talking to y'all, it feels like a piece of hot coal fell in my stomach. It's at the bottom of my stomach right now, Bock. It's just a little sitting there, and it's like it's on fire right now. But it wasn't hot going down. As I talk, my glasses are getting foggy.
Yeah.
The sweat is coming on my head.
Catching up to you a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's doing it. All right, welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt. Smoking Gun Wednesday. Smoking Gun Jerky Thursday here at the Ticket with me and Bock. We will do our taste test later. But that little hot piece just got me, though. But I'm able to talk, Bock. I'm able to get through it. And we'll have that taste test a little later.
All right. Well, I could give you a little bit of a break if we go through the defensive side of Penn State.
Yeah, because
allow
my
you
head
to
is
breathe
sweating.
a little bit. Let's start with Penn State's defense, though. And as we look at it, the best player on Penn State's defense, as far as I see it, and as far as the scouts see it as well, is Danny Dennis Sutton. He's been one of the better players in the Big Ten up front in the last couple of years. Had 8.5 sacks last year, 5 sacks so far on the year for him this year. Also leads the team in forced fumbles with 3, so look out for that. Even has 2 pass deflections from up front on the defensive line. Danny Dennis Sutton, number 33, 6'5", 265 up front. He is a senior, one of those seniors, again, that they brought back here to Happy Valley to chase that national championship. A defensive tackle, weird number for a defensive tackle, number 28, 6'1", 287-pound senior Zane Durant. Looks lining up next to him, is also senior number 50, Alonzo Ford Jr., 6'2", 304 pounds. The other defensive end, Zariah Fisher, 6'3", 259-pound senior number 36. So they're not, all those guys are hovering or, trying to building up toward, but just one guy over 300. They're not the biggest up front.
But technique-wise, they're great.
But yeah, there's a reason why they were heralded coming in. Linebackers, if you look at them here, is number 0, Dominic DeLuca, 6'1", 224 pounds, and he is a senior as well. Their other linebacker leads the team in tackling. Number 24, Amari Campbell, 6 foot, 230-pound junior, 76 tackles on the year. He is second on the team with 2.5 sacks as well. So he is one to look out for. Again, he is number 24. Maybe competing with Danny Dennis Sutton to be drafted, a little bit higher is AJ Harris. He is a junior, 6'1", 186 pounds, number 4 out there at cornerback for Penn State. The other cornerback, number 2, Adavian Collins, 5'11", 180-pound junior. Their safeties, Zakee Wheatley, 6'2", 202-pound senior. He is second on the team in tackles with 64 on the season. And then their other safety, DeJuan Lane, 6'2", 206-pound sophomore, by the way, as well. King Mack, a guy that rotates in as well, 5'10", 189-pound junior, is fourth on the team in tackles. So he's the guy to look out for. Their nickel, number 7, Zion Tracy. Zion Tracy is 5'11", 180-pound junior for Penn State. So that's what they look like as the attack on defense. And then I would also bring up their kicker as well. Ryan Barker hasn't missed an extra point this year, 12 of 13 on the year. His only miss was one from distance, 0 for 1, over 50 yards. His long on the year is 50. So he's been pretty much money from anything inside of 50 this season for Penn State. Was also their kicker last year, was 15 of 18. Kind of a similar story there. His long on the year was from 49, 0 for 1 last year, over 50. So very, very good. If they can get in field goal range, they could pretty much count on points from Ryan Barker.
Well, Bob, this is not the same Penn State defense we've seen in years when we talk about the great defense they have. They got a great, excellent defensive coordinator who came over from Penn State, not going the way he wanted it to, Bob, especially when you see their rushing defense there. They give up 148.4 yards a game, which is 70th in the nation. Pass defense is a little bit better, 167 yards.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Which is 12th in the nation. And then they give up 316 yards total defense, which is 22 in the nation. I think that's good. Give up 21.1 yards a game scoring defense, which ranks 35. So only 2 points, two points behind Nebraska. Nebraska gives up 19.9. And I think that's pretty good for some defenses, especially with the record that they have, Bob.
Yeah, it is. I mean, their pass defense, again, is pretty solid. That's with okay attack as far as sacks go. So a really good job by their secondary this past year. And Penn State generally is known for a pretty good secondary. By the way, the sacks, as I mentioned, 2.2 per game. That's 49th in the country. So solid, not great there. It's kind of interesting when you break down what they've done here too in the run game defense, because like we said, that appears to be their weakness, as at least on defense, as opposed to the pass game defense. So you think that, hey, that lines up with Nebraska's strength. Well, they've done a little bit better over the last couple of weeks in holding teams at bay. 101 yards given up rushing to Michigan State the past time out, facing number 2 Indiana in the country. They gave up 108. We think, well, where are these numbers coming from? Surely Ohio State ran all over them. Despite losing 38-14, Ohio State had just 164 yards. Again, good day, but compared to Ohio State, you might figure that they were going to run all over them. The teams that have really hurt that Penn State rushing defense this year: Iowa, 245 yards rushing against Penn State. UCLA, 269 yards rushing against Penn State. So they've had some games where it's completely gone off the rails, and Iowa and UCLA were able to run all over them. But for the most part, they've been holding teams at bay. Their other team, Oregon, 174 yards. Again, not great, but still against a team the quality of Oregon, especially in 2 overtimes, I think you would take that. Northwestern, they held to 119 yards on the ground. So they've been pretty solid more often than not. But there's been a few games where they were broken wide open with Iowa and UCLA. So how does Nebraska's attack kind of compare to that? Can Nebraska add themselves to that list? Would be nice. If Nebraska gets over 200 yards rushing in this game, I feel really good about it. In fact, I'd almost put that at, and I don't know, whichever team, right, rushes more is probably going to win this game. What do you think that number is? Maybe $190, $185 to probably beat Penn State here?
Yeah, I think something like that. But, and I just found out an interesting statistic that I probably wouldn't known if I didn't look at it and really stare at it for a minute. When we look at the schedule strength, Bob, Nebraska's schedule strength is 64 in the nation. Penn State's is 15. So they had some harder games, but this is going to be a game they need to win. This is a game that Nebraska needs to win. I think when we talk about the collision of both offenses, when you talk about the running back situation, their running back probably situation is a little better than ours because they have 2 guys that can run the rock. We only have 1. So the key to that is going to be really trying to keep Emmett Johnson fresh a little bit and see how it goes. I mean, when we talk about this Trey Taylor effect that's going on, I mean, not Trey Taylor, Latif effect that's going on, but he's going to have to play a clean game for us to win this game.
Well, yeah, and a good question, too, off the text line. Kind of noticed a maybe common theme between those teams that run and broke out, UCLA and Iowa. Hey, they both have running quarterbacks. Is that the reason they particularly struggled against those teams? And yes, it is. I mean, Mark Gronowski, 9 carries, 130 yards, led Iowa's attack with 2 touchdowns against Penn State. Similar thing can be said for UCLA. In part of giving up all those yards against UCLA, 269 yards. A big part of that was Nico Iamaleava on the ground. Pulling that up right now to see exactly where it was, but it was, as part of that 42-37 win for UCLA, Nico ran 16 carries, 128 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He led UCLA Bruins on the ground that game. So, I don't expect TJ Lateef to lead Nebraska on the ground, obviously with Emmett Johnson there in the backfield. But if he's a big part of the attack, that is something specifically, again, and shout out to the text line for throwing that out there, that they've struggled with dual threat quarterbacks or rushing quarterbacks. So I'm interested to see how many carries and how much of the game plan that is for Nebraska with their true freshman quarterback here on the road.
When we talk about Penn State quarterback situation, he's not a runner.
No.
So it'd be great for Nebraska to stay in their lanes, especially when he passed, because he's not going to run the ball. But I can tell you this, Bock, they're going to run it. 50 times last week, they're going to run the ball. They're going to try to be more physical with you. We're going to see how physical this defense is the next 2 weeks, especially when you go against the Iowas and the Penn States of the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to physicality, and that's something you can't avoid in building a Big Ten program. I don't know if Nebraska or the coaching staffs had always leaned into that, right? Mike Riley, Scott Frost, maybe more finesse. Of course, early on in Matt Rule, it was more physicality, kind of transferred a little bit, maybe, and now you're kind of wondering, maybe going into this year, more of an idea of slinging the ball around, but now finishing out the year, let's load up on those carries. So. Yeah, and the more physical team is definitely gonna win this game.
All right, Bock, let's go to break, and when we come back, I want to talk about something. These fast food prices, Bock. I'm a fast foodie, so I like to just drive to a drive-thru and get something quick, so I don't have to cook. I don't even think I cooked a meal in the last 6 months, Bock.
Oh my goodness, you are a fast foodie.
Yeah, I tell you the truth. I'm a Casey's pizza eater, and I'm a McDonald's and a Popeyes type of guy. But we'll talk about something different when we come back on Bock the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, that's 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
This Black Friday, it is time to hit your goals before the new year even starts. At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, get 40% off our next 10-week challenge, plus 6 weeks for free to kickstart your fitness journey. Start training December 1st with kickboxing, strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxblincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Fight fans, Dynasty Combat Sports returns to the Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, November 21st for a massive night of cage fighting action. UFC veteran Derek Minner headlines as he faces Missouri's Jacob Ritchie. In the co-main event, Lincoln's Nate Morrow battles Ashton Caniglia, with Sean Lindgren and Jeremy Small throwing down in the featured pro bout. Local prospects Easton Edmund, Boudin, and Andrew Huffman lead the amateur side. 16 total fights are set for another electric night in the cage. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com or the arena box office. Fight card subject to change.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockovic. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're on from Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Barrett.
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer guys out there working hard throughout Lincoln and Omaha and surrounding areas in Nebraska. Bock, I have a little fire in my stomach. I told you it's like I need a fire extinguisher down. It feels like it's not hot, but you can feel it just sitting there tingling right there.
Well, it was called Complete Idiot, so you kind of walked right into that one. If it does end up causing any problems down there.
5197 says Huskers needs guys like my son that will bleed for them and understand what Husker football means to everyone around here. I think that goes for everybody. I mean, especially guys who put on them uniforms. When I first stepped onto Nebraska, I kind of felt my first day I knew what this team was all about. Nothing was easy. Nothing was handed to you. I think when you look at the type of coaches we had of Charlie McBride, Tom Osborne, Frank Solich, when we talk about hard-nosed coaches, and when you talk about Frank Solich and Charlie McBride. Now it goes to a different mode when you talk about Coach Osborne because he wasn't that type of coach. And I think every player should know the history of Nebraska and not just part of it when we talk about the 90s, the 70s, even 2000s when, just that part of Nebraska football. The fans are so passionate that they will come if you're 10-0 or if you're 0-10. These fans are still gonna come to the game. I think that, the more we realize that this is the old Nebraska, that Matt Rule has to set a tone for these young men themselves. And they got to understand that football is football, regardless if you're getting paid or not. This is not a job because this is not a job you're going to have for 10 years. This is a job you're going to probably have for 4 years. Even if you transfer or not, it's still going to be a little job for you to try to get out there and make some money. But also, you got to think about the football aspect, Bob. We got to play football and don't worry about the money.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting to kind of look at it that way, but I mean it's just kind of changed the college football landscape has changed. I mean, we talked to Kenny Wilhite in here for KW Tuesdays, and he's brought it up. Obviously, has been in those circles and say that's kind of the first question every kid asks about is the money aspect, and I think to a lot of traditional ears that hurts, right? I mean that's not what. But I mean, you think about it now, it's a job. And it's not only when you're going to the university. You talk about being student athletes. It's a job that's going to pay you a lot better than probably jumping into your field whenever you graduate. Depending on what you're in there for. So it's a huge opportunity. It's a big part of the deal. And I get people being frustrated by it, but I'm starting to come around to the idea. I mean, you don't almost have to be insane to think about it in your own workplace, right? To go into it and to say, you know what, I'm going to work for the love of the game. Well, you might want to talk a little bit. You have to at least be in the same stratosphere of you might love the game, but of what the pay and what that is compared to other places. So, if you think about it as your own job, and that's what this is now. This is a job for folks. It's always been a job, and that's what makes it kind of frustrating is the time that was put in by yourself, Terrell, and everybody else before this whole thing kind of broke open is may not be all that different, and so that's why it can be frustrating. But if now we're just if you just kind of accept what it is, which is a job without guardrails around the no salary cap. So, again, I think we could, and I know you want to kind of get toward that at some point. It would be easier to do that. They're doing the rev share now, which is trying to put, something out there similar for everybody to kind of work with. But, I like the idea and I think there are still levels. We had Jeff Jamrog in here the other day, the Midland coach. There are levels of football where I think you're going to be more playing for the love of the games than a paycheck. But at the D1 level, at the Power 4 level, at a place like Nebraska, unfortunately, that's just fortunately for the kids, or unfortunately for traditionalists, or whatever way you want to look at it, that's part of the business moving forward, and it is a business, and so it has to be treated as such.
Yeah, I mean, the frustrating part is that, Bob, we're trying to get back to a place to where what we call the glory days. And we can't do it by switching coaches every 4 years. We have to have a stable environment. I mean, sometimes coaches leave and go to a better place. But when we talk about the environment, you have to make this environment better for these kids. These kids have to make the environment better for themselves. They got to understand how to win, when to play real football. And like games like this, you can't go to Penn State and lose to a 4-6 team. I mean, they haven't beaten a Power 5 team this year, Bob, when we talk about that. So,
well, they beat Michigan State last week.
Well, Michigan State, but we beat Michigan State, and they played us close. But
quickly, I do want to go through that because when you mentioned Penn State's schedule, I want you just, you don't have to think too hard about it. There's some opponents that Nebraska has already played, so you can go through it. But there's been talk about the Penn State schedule, and certainly it is more difficult. You mentioned it earlier in strength of schedule, but how much different would Nebraska's record look if they went through Penn State's schedule? We go through it real quickly. You just tell me win or loss. Nevada for Nebraska.
What'd you say now?
I said just tell me win or loss for this. I'm going through Penn State's schedule.
Okay.
Pretend Nebraska's in it. Nevada.
Win.
Okay, 1-0. FIU at home.
Win.
Villanova at home.
Win.
So up to 3-0. Oregon at home.
Lose.
3-1. At the Rose Bowl against UCLA, they won.
Won.
So 4-1. Northwestern at home. They won that one. So 5-1 at Iowa.
Lose.
5-2 at Ohio State.
Lose.
5-3, and then Indiana at home.
Lose.
So 5-4 at Michigan State.
We won that game.
We did beat Michigan State. That was at home, but would say the same thing. So Nebraska, if they went through Penn State's schedule, again, a lot of similar opponents, some tougher ones, but Penn State lost those ones. We're giving Nebraska those losses as well. Would conceivably be in that 6-4 category. So it's kind of interesting with Penn State at the opposite of that, 4-6. In fact, losing some of those games, those opponents that Nebraska played, UCLA, Northwestern, is favored going into this game. So I think that's just kind of interesting, because you are going to hear that from Penn State or that side as they've played a tougher schedule. But I think pretty confidently we could say, and especially since you gave Nebraska the Iowa loss on the road, which I would agree with you, Iowa would be favored. Iowa will be favored, likely coming into Lincoln, is the right move to do. But I mean, that's still to be played out there. So you're talking about potentially, and we'll see what down the line, if Nebraska beats Iowa, Nebraska would be 6-4, 7-3 with that, with the same schedule. Now it might not, you'd have some tough losses, Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. It might not be as close, right? Penn State only lost by 6 to Oregon in double overtime, 3 to Indiana, blowout against Ohio State. But again, that remains to be seen. Who knows what would happen? Nobody predicted Nebraska to compete with Ohio State last year, and they went in to the horseshoe and did that.
Yeah. Yeah, you get up for different games, Bock, and I see that in these Nebraska kids, like last year with the Ohio State game. But you got to think of the fact that a week or two before that, Indiana blows us out. So it makes you wonder, like, how these guys get up for games. I would love to see their pregame ritual of how they do things down there now. I know they do have what they call it, walk, the unity walk.
Yeah.
We didn't have a unity walk. We just went in the bus and we hopped off and we went in and got taped and ready to play. Certain things, we don't have all the great entrance of college football. We just go out there and we just run with the red flag and it's time to play football. I've never seen the red flag run out this year, Bock, like it used to run out.
Yeah, I was hoping you're talking about it. Maybe you could run out the black shirt flag at some point. We got to get you to do that.
Probably
will
Will.
Talk to somebody.
Probably Will Compton, not us old guys. They don't.
Well,
want
we've seen plenty of Will Compton.
Yeah, yeah, but they don't like us old guys. So they got to be hipped and hopped and guys on the real TV busting with the boys.
Yeah, driving up podcast numbers.
Just guys like us. We won too much, Bock, for them to deal with us because you know what? I'm going to preach. I would love to see this team win 10 games, but in realistic, when it comes down to it, we have to win these last 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, I predicted this to be an 8-win team. Going into the season, I think that they're on pace for that. Whether that be winning one of these final games or maybe winning the bowl game. I think this team's likely too good to drop, 3 in a row to include that bowl game. But, the opposite of that is people look at it, is it going to be, 3 wins in a row to get to that 10 wins? Likely not going to happen because they're underdogs in these 2 games. And again, if they do win those 2 games, even then you're probably punching up against a pretty good opponent in a bowl game. But still possible. And if Nebraska does that, I don't know what kind of momentum we feel like Nebraska is going to head into the offseason. All of that, of course, is going to be dependent on how they do here. But if Nebraska, you might not have a playoff, you might not be able to win the national championship this year, but you can certainly set up the program going into next year with a strong finish here.
All right, Bock, let's do our taste test. My stomach done cooled down a little bit. I put that little charcoal out. It's got smothered out of my stomach. And what do we have first, Bock?
Well, I'm excited because there's a few of my favorite things being married together here. I love garlic, and we've got garlic and black pepper as well as garlic barbecue here. So you pick between the two.
Garlic, black pepper, Bock.
Yes,
garlic, black pepper, and garlic.
Yes.
Beef jerky, reverse, bold, and flavorful. Let's go, Bock.
Like I said, huge fan of black pepper. So, you can't put enough pepper on it. Can definitely taste the garlic. Very good. Yeah, this might be among my favorites. Yeah, toss it to me. I'm taking that one home.
Yep, that's your stocking stuffing.
There it is. So delicious. You don't have to break it down a whole lot more than that. If you like black pepper and garlic, especially, I'm sure people have tried that together in several of the recipes. I mean, garlic can strong flavor. That's why they say robust and bold can really change anything you put it into. Yeah, I mean, I might go put some more pepper. No, I'm just kidding. But I do love pepper, so I overload everything with pepper. But this is perfectly flavored.
All right, Bock. Next one. Oh, I can't get it open, Bock. You with these little things.
Are you doing garlic barbecue?
Yes.
Yes.
Garlic barbecue. Garlic barbecue beef jerky. Mild garlic with a sweet barbecue flavor.
And I always like to show just how good this is. It's not going to be tough. You're not going to be chewing on it too hard. I can pull it apart right there. Looks beautiful. Go ahead and take the bite here. Not overly either one. I think that's a good mix of flavors. I was kind of expecting maybe to be hit right away with either garlic or barbecue, but it's a very good blend. What do you think? As you're still chewing it.
Oh, pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And our final one here is when we get to the spicy one. Now you already tried the complete idiot.
Yeah, I'm a complete idiot.
Which
for
is
that
spicier. I think
can
maybe
tell you that.
spicier. But spicy teriyaki, the flavor of teriyaki might help a little bit in the spiciness of this. But I've got my water back here. Well, I'm actually running low. I should have checked that before the break.
Spicy teriyaki beef jerky. A little zip for the teriyaki lovers.
And I am a teriyaki lover. And I like that. I like how I said it. Does, again, not overwhelming, but definitely some spice to it. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, definitely not overwhelming yet. Now that it's going down, I can feel my breath getting a little hotter. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Maybe it is. I got one of those seeds. You definitely go through that. But blends well together too.
Yeah.
Not overwhelming
I like
one
that
or the
one.
other. Yeah.
I like that one. Johnny Cortland says, Farley, word of advice for my older man. Quit treating your gut like a garbage disposal. LOL. Seriously. Well, I haven't made roster pasta in a long time, so that's
good stuff.
That's probably good. I've got to get Kenny Wilhite to deep fry me a turkey for Thanksgiving, and I want to get Marlena to make me some dressing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So I'll have dressing and turkey for Thanksgiving.
And plus, you have to understand Terrell, as DP often calls these supreme athletes, is an alien. He can really put anything into his body, and you can go out there and still play. You got the athleticism. You're about the same weight as your playing days. There's no giant gut or anything that you have to worry about. So, yeah, he gets to eat a little bit differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, first play ISO. I don't think so, Bob. I wouldn't get that. But, Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska, were sources of all meats from local farmers and shops from Lincoln. We take pride in making premium jerky from our homemade seasoning and marinade. If you're ever in Lincoln or in Lincoln, go to 443 South 48th Street, or you can go online at smokingjerky.com and put in code word Bock and Farley. That will conclude our taste test with a little sting in my stomach, Bock. But let's go to break, and when we come back, we'll talk more college football here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt. I'll be right back.
I say, and a chance to win Bar 48. We're giving out some Bar 48 gift cards, $25 on the line. Stay tuned.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and Experience the landmark difference.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Fight fans, Dynasty Combat Sports returns to the Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, November 21st for a massive night of cage fighting action. UFC veteran Derek Minner headlines as he faces Missouri's Jacob Ritchie. In the co-main event, Lincoln's Nate Morrow battles Ashton Caniglia, with Sean Lindgren and Jeremy Small throwing down in the featured pro bout. Local prospects Easton Edmund Booten and Andrew Huffman lead the amateur side. 16 total fights are set for another electric night in the cage. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com or the arena box office. Fight card subject to change.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're on from Monday through Friday from 1 to 3, so check us out. Call in. What's the Starter Heyman's text line, Bock?
402-464-5685.
All right, Bock got that thing memorized in his head right there, Bock. You're a soldier for that one. I don't even know my cell number like that. I have to go look at it when somebody says, what's your number? Hold on for a second.
I wake up in the middle of the night saying that number. It's just, yeah.
All right, Bob, we're going to listen to some Matt Rule, but first we're going to listen to Terry Smith of Penn State, interim head coach.
Yeah, it was an interesting press conference there on Monday, so I grabbed a few of the things. It was very emotional, so we'll put it that way. But we first wanted to introduce you to Terry Smith in a way that we've been talking about, how Coach Rule got him into college coaching. Here's that story, very cool, about how Coach Rule got Terry Smith, the interim head coach at Penn State, into college coaching. So in a way, if Nebraska loses to Terry Smith and Penn State this weekend, you can blame Coach Rule.
Back then, I was the head coach at Gateway High School and the athletic director there. Matt Rule came in to recruit one of my players. And long story short, I had a past player of mine that went to Ohio State, and he came back to visit me. He was going through some life-changing decision-making. And so I'm sitting there talking, discussing, blah, 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 whatever. Matt Rule sitting there listening to the conversation. And long story short, Matt appreciated my care for my player at that point. And we just had a discussion, and a day later he offered me the job. So it was a tremendous opportunity for me to grow from high school to college, and I'm thankful for that. I appreciate Matt for taking a chance on me. I'm thankful for our relationship.
There you have it, Terry Smith talking about how Matt Rule got him in, and part of that is just the care factor he noticed. I mean, the first thing that Matt Rule noticed was his care factor for his players.
All right, Bob, I'm not going to dwell on that too much because go ahead to the next one.
All right, yeah. Terry Smith, again, now he's got a big story on why these wins, this opportunity means so much to him here at Penn State, why Penn State means so much to him. But first, let's play this. I cut out a little bit. He was very emotional, so there were times, radio, it's not great to have dead air, and so there are times when he's kind of recovering himself there. So I cut that out a little bit. For the most part, you can see what it means to Terry Smith for being Penn State head coach, and what this winning as the active Penn State head coach meant to him.
My phone, I have two phones. Each phone had about 500 text messages on it. Plus direct messages was like another 500 or 600. So it was really busy. I've been reached out to basically every person I've ever known in my entire life. People are super proud of me, and it's very humbling for me. I apologize. It's just humbling sitting in this seat. There's so many people in my life that speak life into me. And they all reach out. And I'm just so blessed. God has been so good to me through everything in my life. I have the opportunity to be the head coach at Penn State. I don't think anything has made me or my family happier than this opportunity. I'm thankful for all my friends, my family, my supporters. Saturday was, I can't even tell you how I felt. I've never been lifted off the field in my career. It's just a great moment. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, Bock, you about to make me cry.
No, it's hard to imagine. I mean, when you listen to that, it's hard to imagine that this Penn State team isn't ready to run through a wall through Terry Smith, right? I mean, this is It definitely means the world to him. We got one more. You might get Terrell to cry here. One more of Terry Smith here. Why Penn State means so much to him.
Why does this place in this specific job at the school mean so much?
My dad graduated in 68. It's all we know. I'm from a small town called Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. And it's not a very nice place. And my dad, through his education at Penn State, moved us to the other side of Pittsburgh, to Monroeville, Pennsylvania. And he gave us a better life because of his education here. And it taught our entire family about possibilities in life. And you can be whatever you want to be. And this place has done so much for me and my family. I think we have 9 or 10 family members that have Penn State degrees. I have, I think, 3 that are students now, family members. This place is special. It's amazing. It's I just want to give back to it. I just want to make sure I'm holding my end up of the bargain and putting out a team that everyone can be proud of.
So there you go. The care factor from Terry Smith that was earlier in his Monday press conference, the interim head coach for Penn State, definitely means the world to him to show out as much as he can for Penn State, for his alma mater, for a place that gave him all these opportunities. And again, I think there's plenty of motivation on Penn State's side. Some people might question that after losing to Indiana. Might there not be as much here going down the line, but you're going to want to play for that guy. Now, I will say this, Terrell. I don't know if he would be my first for the get you riled up for the speech going into halftime. Going into the game, if it's similar to that press conference, it might be feeling I don't know, emotional. Maybe not in the supercharged way. Of course, I'm joking. I'm sure he's going to have a different way about him there on Saturday. But I kind of wondered that myself, kind of going into the week. Okay, where's Penn State's head? But after hearing that press conference, seeing how much it matters to Coach Terry Smith, I assume Nebraska's going to get Penn State's best punch.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it all. I mean, like I said, if I had to go with somebody right now, it'd probably be Penn State, just because of the home field advantage and the crowd and what I've seen of their offensive line and their running backs. Not really. No team has really passed on us. They put the dagger in our heart with running the ball. So this is going to be a running back show right here. Inside runs, outside runs, especially when you got 2 guys that can do it like that. And it's going to be a great game, but the closer we get, the more excited I get about it.
Off the text line, Old Dad 34 says the Penn State coach sounds like a good man to me. Now I'm even more scared about this game. Claytonia John was worried that you might get some tears in your eyes. Says black shirts don't cry. But of course what's the movie that you admit to crying to a little bit?
Rudy.
Yeah. So just don't put on Rudy, otherwise black shirts might cry.
I never cried. Even when I never lost at Nebraska, the game I played in, but I went 22-0 here. So I didn't, the games that was lost, I was suspended for. So, I do count them as a loss, but just a silent 22-0. So
some asterisks next to it.
Yeah, but you have to play hard for your coach. And when players play hard for their coach, you do things that you probably never do. I went out every day. I played for my teammates. I played for my coach. I played for my family. I played for the people of Nebraska. I played for this whole state, especially when it's a national championship on the line like we had to play for. And we always want bragging rights to be in Nebraska when we talk about college football. And that's one thing we did when we played, was we kept the bragging rights in the state of Nebraska.
Absolutely. Definitely a different time then, especially with all the winning on the field. But hopefully Nebraska can get back to that at some point. Could take a step forward here this week against Penn State. We do have some Matt Rule audio from today, but before we get to that, we do want to give you a chance to win $25 to bar 48. So get your Texan fingers ready. First person to answer correctly, divorce 402-464-5685 will win $25 to bar 48. Keep in mind, if you're out of state or something like that, you have to come by and pick it up. So don't take the win here from one of our locals. Bar 48, by the way, is Lincoln's newest craft cocktail lounge, conveniently located on North 48th Street. Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails, beer, wine, and so much more. Follow Bar 48 on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of University Place neighborhood today. The question, well, let's go back to Penn State and their historic team that they have here. Who is Penn State's all-time leading rusher? We know rushing yards is going to be a big part of this game.
Jenna Carter. No.
If you go like in both of them, Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen have been moving up those charts. But who in the historic history of
Kurt Warner?
Well, that's a good guess. Is the all-time leading rusher? So career rushing yards here. For
You're close, James. You talking about career or a single game? A single season.
Let's go with career because I did say that. So let's see here.
James and Lincoln, is it?
Career rushing yards. Let's see if he's got it. James and Lincoln does win. It's Evan Royster. Might be a surprise to some folks out there, but Evan Royster is the all-time leading rusher at Penn State. Saquon Barkley just behind him. And Katron Allen, we mentioned it might catch up to 1,000 yards this season. He's only about 49 yards behind Saquon Barkley. He'll be number 2 here if they, possibly. And he is within reach of Evan Royster too. So, I mean, he could end up being the answer there too. So Evan Royster is the correct answer. Congrats to James and Lincoln. But you know what? We're so nice. We're going to do it twice. How about another Bar 48 gift card? Let's put it on the line and let's look around a little bit else and see what else I can ask you here as we get going. James, you've already won, so you cannot answer this question. They've had a lot of successful passing quarterbacks over the years, so we can probably go into that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go with career passing yards. Who's the all-time career passing yard leader at Penn State? Drew Aller, whose season, of course, was cut short, came in 4th with 7,402. But we'll see if you guys can kind of guess some of the other quarterbacks in Penn State history that might be close to that. I'll give you a hint. The top 3 have played between 2013 and 2018. So all during the time when Nebraska has been in the Big Ten. So as we look at it here, we do have our first guess in. The winner, 9079. He guessed Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford, the all-time leading passer there at Penn State. 10,661 yards. Trace McSorley, my personal favorite, 9,899. Christian Hackenberg, who's supposed to be the next great thing. He was pretty good. 8,427 yards for Penn State.
Sorry, Dirty Tony and the boys. You was a second late because he came in soon as you said it also. But he got you first. Eric and Lincoln. How do I address Eric? For all these cries watching Marley and Me.
Have you seen Marley and Me?
No. Is that what but a girl and a dog?
Yeah, I think it's about a guy and a dog, but yeah. And I believe
Marley was the dog, wasn't it?
I believe so. I never saw it either. It was Jennifer Aniston. Who else is in there? Owen Wilson and a dog. I don't know the dog's name. But I believe that you might cry at the end of it because I never seen it, but I did hear the ending.
I don't watch movies like that. Eric cried when E.T. left.
They trying to go back at Eric.
Yeah.
I did cry. I always cry when I watch Ted. When that stuffed animal looks like he's lifeless on at Fenway Park. That always brings a tear to my eye. I can't help it.
Ted the
Fenway
bear?
Park's important. Yeah, Ted the bear. Remember when he I think he gets ripped apart or something and falls onto Fenway Field. There's nobody there, but it's one of my favorite. The Boston Red Sox are my favorite team. So how could I not cry? He reminds me of like my dog or something. So yeah, there are movies that could bring a tear to your eye. But yeah, I think Marley and Me is probably, I don't know, 17 years old or something like
Somebody
that.
said, hey, Terrell, can you still pay and go to the training table? I don't know. You have to ask Todd Euler like that. So, yeah, Ryan P., I do cry when the Falcons lose. But I also cry when Georgia wins because I know we're 5 games away from a national championship for the state of Georgia. 93.7 the ticket. Bock The Blackshirt will be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, for upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. Get 12% off parts the day of your local event. Can't make it? You can still save 10% on parts and 20% off planter parts December 1st through the 12th. It's the best time of the year to stock up on oil and filters. Grab John Deere gifts for under the tree and schedule your service inspections. Don't miss out. These deals only come around once a year at Landmark Implement. Find your nearest expo at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. Leaves are falling and temperatures are cooling down, but don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Winter leagues begin on December 1st and are open for registration. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker Watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate or team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at doubleeagle.golf.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovbneb.com/schedule. Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Yo, welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All the cry things in the text line. Bock, I tell you what, Bock. Only time I cried, Bock, I say I watched Rudy, and probably when my kids was born. And that's it. And funerals, by the way.
Yeah. It's healthy to cry sometimes.
Yeah.
It's good to cry. Get it out.
Yeah. It's okay.
But not on the football field.
Yeah, none of that. I think last time I cried on the football field was probably my senior year.
Yeah, fair enough.
In high school, because I probably thought I wasn't going to play football anymore because I didn't probably have like no scholarships back out during the season.
He blocked like 15 kicks though. Nobody was too interested in that.
Well, that was just blocking kicks, but you have to have a position. You just can't you can't get a scholarship for that. And Bandit, my dog, yeah, that one right there, that hurt me the most. But you know, I still got the 2 little pups, and now I got this big boy raccoon outside that I have to go pick up after him every day. Find a lid for my trash can. I think he took that and hit it also. All right, Bock, we got a little Matt Rule. So let's listen to a little Matt Rule. Is that from today?
Yeah, it's from today.
All right, let's listen to Matt Rule.
All right, here's the travel plans to Penn State.
We'll leave tomorrow. Like I think it's like we'll practice in the morning. I think we leave a plane that takes off at 1, which means we'll get there at their time around 5. So then from there our normal thing. Yeah, we went early to Maryland really because of the drive and travel, and then I got back really late, and not really late, but late-ish. I don't know if I love that or not, but I really like UCLA going out the day before. Like I want to be home as much as possible and get back as soon as possible. So.
Yeah, kind of strange to me that I'm so used to doing walkthroughs on other people's field that gives you, just give you a little footing and it's just the way Coach Osborne did it. We did walkthroughs on Oklahoma field, Oklahoma State field. Every team we played on, visiting wise, we always get there a day ahead and do a walkthrough and stay out there probably 30, 45 minutes.
All right, let's get more on what Penn State has to bring. He did break down a couple of running backs here. Here is how similar are the Penn State running backs in style?
I think they're both very similar. They both have. There's not really a weakness to either one, right? And so they're big, powerful, athletic, great vision. They put them both on the field at the same time. So for us, it's really we know how they're good players, so we have to focus on us. And for us, it's our angles, our tackling, winning blocks on the perimeter. They do a great job of getting the ball to the perimeter, and so we have to win out there. So, we have a lot of respect for them. It'll be really great to compete with them.
There are the thoughts on the running backs. Now here's his thought. Go ahead.
Kind of funny when he said that they put both of them on the field at the same time.
Mm.
I think that part right there will probably confuse a linebacker because you're mainly trying to focus on one running back because there's usually one back there. But when you have two running backs like this, it's probably going to make their assignments a little difficult because you got to figure out which one is the hot one right now.
Yeah, well, Katron Allen's been good, but we'll see. We'll see kind of what they go. That'll definitely be a guessing game if they're both out there. Here's Coach Rule talking about Zane Durant, the big defensive tackle up front for Penn State.
Great player. He's also extremely relentless. He's athletic. He's a rare inside guy that that can run like a pirate inside movement by the other two guys, and he can come around and he can run down quarterbacks. He's just that level of athleticism. So it really, it's across the board. Their young pass rushers are fantastic. They are a defense built off of pass rush and pressure and tight coverage. So, but yeah, he's just really athletic. He's got great moves. They're really well coached.
You say he moves like a pirate? Did I catch that wrong?
I don't know how a pirate moves.
I don't know either.
Well, the only pirate I knew he had wooden legs. So I don't know.
Is that what he said?
He's a rare inside guy that that can run like a pirate inside movement by the other two guys, and
I think he said a pirate. I don't know. Maybe I'm mishearing that. But I'll look out for the pirate Zane Durant in there. He could be a problem for Nebraska's front. Of course, somebody working up against him, the defensive tackle for Penn State, will be the center for Nebraska. Rule talked about the progression of Justin Evans up front.
Yeah, obviously with Donovan being a center, takes great pride in those guys making protection points and adjustments and things like that. The quarterback obviously can always trump those, but Justin has really grown in those areas. He did a nice job at guard. He's naturally a center. He's aggressive. He's physical, but he's really, really smart. And we're a high volume, pro style offense, right? So he has to do a lot of different things. It'll certainly help us going into this game, and especially with having poise and the noise. You can't have three linemen on one page and two on the other. So Justin's a great anchor in there that the guys respect, and he'll make sure that we have five guys working as one.
Need a big game from Justin Evans. Of course, we'll need a big game from TJ Lateef as well. Rule was asked, how much does the extra week, having the bye week, help in preparation for TJ Lateef?
When you're the two, you watch the other guy do some things, and then you kind of go out there and you can do them. When you're the one, you're the first. You have to execute. You have to go out there and you have to produce, and everyone's watching you, counting on you. So, I think the one main thing I'll always say is I think since the day TJ's gotten here, he's done a good job of, learning, listening, being coachable. And so, what he did last 2 games ago, he'll do this week as a product of all of that. But yeah, certainly another week just of, hearing play calls, being the first guy up. I think it certainly has helped him.
So obviously another week of practice helping him out. But it was also asked, it's going to be a little bit different between playing out in sunny California and the cold in State College this week. Here's Rule talking about kind of the difference between those two environments.
Certainly there's differences in the weather. Like we were at UCLA, like my two daughters flew back with us and they were in shorts and t-shirts. And we got off at, people think Lincoln, this is called the coldest place in Lincoln's actually I think the runway strip at the airport. And so we got off and it was brutal. So certainly the weather was a factor, but people don't give USC due credit in my mind for the way they run the football. I mean, they're a power running team, and UCLA with kind of how they were playing, they're running the team, running the quarterback. So I think there's a lot of similarities. The crowd noise going on the road, I think, is one of the biggest things that we have to deal with here. And then USC has great pass rushers, like Penn State, 4 and 5 star guys up and down the lines. And so we just take each game kind of one at a time. And hey, what do we need to do this week? And try to stick to who we are. But yeah, it's really unique now in the Big Ten, just sort of just the diversity that you see.
And there might be a few folks too wondering, well, why hasn't anybody asked about Dayton Raiola and the decommit? Well, remember, you can't ask about a player that's not committed. Well, you can ask, but the coach can't respond. But maybe this one's phrased. I don't know if this is about him, but phrased in a way, is it difficult to convince players to stay and say they will play down the road?
100%. I think that's true for coaches, everyone. But at the same time, like I always say to our coaches, like, what is our job? At the end of the day, our job is threefold. In order to win, we have to recruit and attract talented players. We have to make sure that they become the best men possible, and then we have to develop them into the best player possible. So we're going to develop players, and if along the way it just gets too much for them, then so be it. But I can't worry about that. I have to make sure I'm doing my job. And I've always felt like if players feel like they're poured into and taken care of and believed in and developed, most of them will say, so I can't worry about that. I just want to make sure I'm doing a good job coaching and watching our players grow.
And along the recruiting lines, he was asked about recruiting right now in the busy December that's going to be ahead for Nebraska.
Yeah. So why we hired Pat Stewart, and Logan and Keith Williams and all those guys. And at the end of the day, I think the first priority is, retaining the players on your team that you feel like, should be here, and providing vision for the others. And, I know that there's some new rules are starting to come out now. We're starting to get trickle here about this, here about that. So it's going to be a unique changing time. Last year we lost some players that I really cared about and liked, and but we brought in some really good ones too. And so for me, it's going to be about our own guys, and then the signing class in December, and then the portal. And there's to your point, there really is no rules. Like the NFL, they have the legal tampering period, and so it is what it is. We'll attack it and just try to be the best at it.
Well, here's the thing, Bob. You have to upgrade at the spots that you're weak at, and lately we've gone after too many receivers, DBs, not enough linebackers, D tackles, D ends, O linemen. We have to get better in the spots we're weak at. I think as a team, we could probably go for a portal running back, more portal offensive lineman, more portal defensive lineman, probably a portal linebacker or two. The things we have to get better at. I mean, you look what hurts us every game. You can't wait sometimes for a kid to develop, because it might be a year or two before that kid develops. He might not be ready right away. It doesn't matter how hard you coach him and how much coaching he gets. If he's not ready, he's not ready. I mean, we've seen that in college football many a times. It's guys I played with that probably thought they was ready to play, but they wasn't, because the little mistakes you make can turn into big things in the game when things like that happen. And I just think we need to take a different approach when we try to go to the portal. We need defensive linemen bad. We're young at receivers. We're young at running backs. I still think we can go with the receivers we got with next year. If Emmett comes back, that's great, but he still needs a top backup unless Mose or Kenneth Williams is going to step up big next year. And same on the defensive line. Got to get better. Can't put 215-pound guys at defensive end and expect them to be Hercules, Bob, because that's just not how football is.
Yeah, we'll see. And again, not just going to the portal, but getting improvements out of the portal will be big.
If you say you can get anybody, we can get anybody. Well, you need to start getting on them now, because I guarantee you, with all the coaches that left LSU, Florida, who else? Penn State guys, Virginia Tech guys. Those guys are in the portal already. So, hey, get up on them quick. All right. Thank you for listening to Bock the Blackshirt here at 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be back tomorrow for Good Sense Friday. And then Saturday, A1 Automotive pregame tailgate party. Starts at 3 p.m. here at 93.7 The Ticket. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovbneb.com/schedule.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school